we want to look at the vector product of two vectors. We looked at the scalar product in a previous video. Now, the vector product, in this case, if you have vector A, call it OA, the vector product or the cross product of OA and OB would be the magnitude of OA times the magnitude of OB. Now, in this case, it is sine of the angle between them. Alright? Now, the vector product gives a vector that is perpendicular. Well, we say perpendicular, but sometimes the word orthogonal is used when it comes to vectors. To each, it gives a vector that is perpendicular to each of the two vectors. What I would say is gives a third vector. Let me put third here. It gives a third vector that is orthogonal to each of the two vectors, 90 degrees. Say if you have vector A and vector B, this would be vector A cross B. So this is vector, say this is vector A and this is vector B. This would be vector A cross B, which is magnitude of A, magnitude of B, times the sine of the angle between these vectors. This angle is this. Alright? Now, this third vector is at 90 degrees to each of the other two vectors, right? So, suppose you have this vector A and vector B, and the angle between them is, say, 30 degrees. Oh, no, let's not start with that yet. Suppose vector A and B are in the same direction, right? Then what would be the cross product? I'm assuming the cross product looks like that. What would be the cross product? You have A, well, no, I had in this case, yeah, vector A and vector B. So this is A and this is B. Now in this case, magnitude of A by magnitude of B, magnitude of A, magnitude of B, sine 0. What is sine 0? It is 0, right? If you now have A and B like this, let me use lowercase letters A, B, and they are at, say, 30 degrees. This would be A cross B, right? Now, A cross B would be magnitude of A, magnitude of B, sine 30, which will be 0.5, right? Now, what if A and B are at 90 degrees to each other? What would be the cross product? So, 90 degrees. Remember, the cross product would be 90 to each of them. But it so happens that A and B are also 90 degrees to each other. Well, you would have A, magnitude of A, magnitude of B, sine 90, which is 1. So the cross product would be at its maximum. Suppose you have A like this and B like this at say 120 degrees apart. What would be the cross product? Well, in that case, it would be magnitude of A cross magnitude of, no, A cross B would be magnitude of A times magnitude of B times sine 120 degrees. What is the sine of 120 degrees? We have sine 120 equals 0.866, 0.866. Alright? Suppose now you have A and B at 180 degrees apart. So you have A, B here. You want A cross B. What would it be? Well, you have the magnitude of A times the magnitude of B, whatever they are, times sine 180. Now, what is the sine of 180 degrees? Well, it would be sine 180 equals 0. So it wouldn't go up at all. Right? You would not see the resultant, not the resultant, the cross product, because it would be 0. Now suppose you swing across to, let's say, 210 degrees and B is here. I'm assuming the A cross B is up here. What would it be? Magnitude of A by magnitude of B sine 210 degrees. Now what is 210 degrees? So you have sine 210 equal negative 0.5. So I drew it upwards, but it wouldn't be upward, it would be down. Negative 0.5 downwards. Alright? Okay. Now here what we have is A cross B. Right? If we turn this upside down, what we would have then is a case where B would be here and A would be on the side, and then the A cross B would be pointing downwards. So A cross B is the opposite of B cross A, because this now, we're going this direction from A to B, this would be B cross A. Right? And we'd have to turn the diagram upside down. So B cross A, when you turn direction, it would be down. Alright? Now, in physics, the cross product is somewhat like a torque. It's turning. You got turning force. Alright? You have the direction of turn. If you're turning from A to B, it's like you're turning clockwise at this point, right? And you have a certain magnitude of the cross product, which is the torque. If you're turning from A to B, this will be anti-clockwise, so it will turn in the opposite direction, which is down. All right. We're going to look some more at the vector product and see if we can come up with the formula in our next video.